What a head, son! What a head!
How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video, I'm going to be going through my initial reaction as well as a little bit of an ultimate guide into the fixture announcement that happened a couple of minutes ago. So the double game week 36 and 37 and the potential double game week 35 fixtures have been announced, and I'll be going through those in this video. Now unfortunately the announcement wasn't as cut and dry as I probably would have liked to in terms of a chip strategy planning, so there are still some scenarios that could take place, but I'll be going through all those in this video. So that's something you guys are interested in? Sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So before we go over the actual fixtures and do a little bit of analysis on those, I wanted to give a shout out to Ben Krellin first of all, just because I used a lot of his predictions and his graphics in this video just to kind of digest the announcement a little bit quicker than usual. And therefore, if you guys don't know about Ben Krellin, don't really know what you've been doing in the FPL community, but go drop him a follow over on Twitter, as he is the FPL double and blank game week guru. But the first game we're going to be going over is going to be the biggest double that was announced a couple of minutes ago, and that's going to be double game week 36. So a total of 10 teams have confirmed doubles for double game week 36, and I'll be going over them one by one, discussing the fixture difficulty. But also please, I did create this video and these graphics quite quickly, so if there are some fixture difficulties that you don't agree with, drop them in the comments down below and we can debate them. But as I said, went over these quite quickly, so there might be a few mistakes in terms of the difficulty ratings. So the first team, and probably the most popular team going into double game week 36, it's going to be Liverpool, who have Spurs at home and Aston Villa away. So the Spurs fixture is a little bit of a weird one there. I think that Spurs can be a really good defensive side, but against Liverpool, maybe that game will be quite open, a lot of goals scored there. So I definitely think the Aston Villa game will be the more favorable one, but I think if you guys are going to be using a chip such as the triple captain, you could potentially use it on a Mo Salah in this game week. We then go on to Watford of Crystal Palace away and Everton at home. A kind of Everton at home is going to be a tough game depending on where the relegation battle is. Watford obviously in the relegation battle right now. But come game week 36, and this kind of goes for any of the teams, if they are going to be in the relegation battle, they'll put up a good fight. But if they are kind of on the beach, mid-table, can't get European football, can't get kind of relegated, those teams might be on the beach, such as the Crystal Palace away. But Watford's two fixtures, in my opinion, are green fixtures, and I think if you guys want to go for Dennis and King again, you can, but I probably will be avoiding them. Next up, Chelsea, a team that will be super popular with options like Reece James or Havertz. They have Wolves at home and Leeds away. Now this game week could be quite a tough one in terms of rotation, just because if Chelsea do progress in the Champions League, who knows what the team is going to kind of be. But I do still think Chelsea are a quality side, and that top 4 battle is still ongoing, but I think Chelsea should be quite secure. Talking about that top 4 battle, the next team, Spurs, are heavily involved in that. Liverpool away, Arsenal at home. Not great fixtures in my opinion. Maybe the North London derby could be a popular option for a Kane or Son, but I think I might avoid the Spurs assets on a free hit. We then move on to the Arsenal assets, Leeds at home and Spurs away. Definitely that Leeds game is going to be the popular one to go for. I know myself, I already have a triple up in those Arsenal assets, so this actually might lead me away to using the free hit. But Arsenal also in that top 4 conversation, so we'll be keeping an eye on them. But come game week 36, who kind of knows where they're going to be? Same goes for Norwich, but I'm pretty sure they'll be at the bottom of the table, and that's how West Ham at home and Leicester away are two tough fixtures. I've upgraded Leicester to a white rating, just because I do think with Fofana back at centre back, the defence did look strong against United on the weekend, so I think those two games are going to be quite tough for that Norwich side. Aston Villa with Burnley away and Liverpool at home, definitely the Burnley game I would focus on, but that game could be quite a low scoring one, especially if Burnley are still in the relegation battle. The Liverpool at home game, it's a little bit of a weird one there. Maybe Stevie G can get them riled up, but I think I won't be going for the Villa defense, but maybe a Coutinho could pique my fancy. Then go on to Leicester, yet again have a very favorable double like they did in game week 33. They got Everton at home and Norwich at home, so we'll be looking at a Harvey Barnes or Maddison, but like other assets, if their involvement in the European competitions does continue, there could be some heavy rotation in game week 36. Everton up next with Leicester away and Watford away. Two relatively fine fixtures, I think. Everton also in the relegation battle. That Watford away game is going to be a 6-pointer. And if Frank Lampard does have Everton playing better in game week 36, I might go for one or two of those assets. Finally though, Leeds, who have Arsenal away and Chelsea at home, definitely the worst double game week in double game week 36, and that's why I included them last, just because if you guys do own a Rafinha, probably the only Leeds option that you guys would probably own, I might be looking to ship them out before game week 36. So overall guys, we have some nice premium teams. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and then also Spurs have double game weeks, but there are some hidden gems here like a Leicester, even though we might still have them from game week 33. Let me know in the comments down below who you guys think is the best double in 36, and who do you think you guys are going to be bringing in and also captaining. So before we go over the Game Week 37 doubles, I want to give you guys this possibility of a double Game Week 35. So Palace play Chelsea in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and there is a scenario if Palace do win that game and progress to the FA Cup final that we do get a double Game Week 35. The double Game Week 35 will consist of Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. Aston Villa have Norwich at home and Crystal Palace at home, whereas Crystal Palace has Southampton away and Aston Villa away. And now you guys can see why I'm potentially talking about this double Game Week 35, because the double Game Week for Villa looks simply outstanding. Norwich at home, Crystal Palace at home. I'm thinking of tripling up with a Coutinho, a Watkins, also maybe keeping a Luca Digne or Matty Cash, depending on which kind of defenders fit. But I think this is kind of a stretch possibility, as unfortunately to you Palace fans, I do think Chelsea will win this one. But if Palace do win, this is going to be a double Game Week 35. But if Chelsea do beat Palace or Palace loses, then that'll be a double Game Week 37. And kind of talking about double Game Week 37, going to go straight back into that Aston Villa and Crystal Palace double. So if Crystal Palace do lose, it's going to be a double Game Week for Villa of Crystal Palace away and Burnley at home. And then kind of vice versa, Palace have a double of Aston Villa away and Everton at home. So actually two relatively good double game weeks here for the first double of 37 potentially. I think Aston Villa probably favoured there with that Burnley at home fixture, but also Palace hosting Everton could be quite a favourable one. Kind of accompanying those double game weeks, these are the confirmed doubles for 37. It's Burnley who have Spurs away and Aston Villa away. Fixtures aren't that great, but I think depending on how Burnley are defending, come game week 37, if they still are in that relegation battle, I think maybe a defender or Weghorst as a cheap forward could maybe be an option, but I probably would be avoiding. We then have Leicester have Watford away and Chelsea away. Watford away is a great fixture, but Chelsea away not so much. Everton have Brentford at home and Crystal Palace at home. Definitely be looking at some of those Everton assets if they are playing better under Frank Lampard. But then finally, we've got a little bit of a mix-up here. It's going to be Chelsea with United away and Leicester at home. And the reason I'm saying it's a little bit of a mix-up is that this fixture is very likely to happen, as Chelsea will probably progress in that FA Cup final. If Chelsea do lose that FA Cup semi-final to Palace, who kind of knows where this Chelsea double game week will be going, but this is kind of big to note that Chelsea will have back-to-back doubles if they do progress in the FA Cup. Now yes, the double game week 37 fixtures aren't that great for Chelsea. United away, Leicester at home, definitely not kind of the epitome of double game week fixtures, but I still will be opting for maybe one or two of their options just because they are a premium side. But going over the double game week 37 fixtures, you guys can see that this is a more differential double game week. We don't really have heavy hitters like a Spurs and Arsenal, Liverpool, or maybe even a Chelsea, but there are yet again some hidden gems with Everton, Leicester, Burnley, and maybe even a Palace or a Villa. But now I'm going to move on to the unknowns. These are basically the scenarios that teams might have a double game week in 36 or 37, depending on the outcomes of European football, but also the FA Cup. And the first team that really summarizes that, it's going to be Man City, who could have a double in 36 or a single or double in 37. So what I mean by that is, let's look at game week 36 for example. So this could be a potential double of Newcastle and Wolves or West Ham away. So Newcastle is the game currently in 36, but Wolves away or West Ham away could be added to game week 36 to complete the double game week. But this could actually also be a single game week depending on what kind of happens with the whole Man City schedule, and therefore double game week 37 could be a double or a single. It could be double game week of West Ham away and Wolves at home, or it could be a single of West Ham away or Wolves at home. So yes, that is a little bit confusing there, kind of a double game week or a single game week in 36 or 37, but we will definitely be getting more clarity on that as these other competitions complete. But right now, I can't give you guys a confirmed schedule for Man City, and that's why I was talking about in the introduction. Not as cut and dry, unfortunately, and I'm a little bit annoyed at that because I definitely was going to kind of mold my chip strategy around that Man City double. So because Man City could potentially have doubles or single game weeks, I'm going to move on to Wolves there, who have Chelsea away and Man City at home potentially in game week 36. In game week 37, they also have a potential double of Norwich at home and Man City at home. Now you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about, where depending on where that Man City vs Wolves game go, it's going to kind of correspond to the double game weeks. Also contributing that is going to be West Ham, who are still in European football, and that's why there is so much uncertainty with Man City, because they do have that West Ham game. So West Ham could have a double in game week 36 against Norwich away and Man City at home, or they could have a single game week or a blank in game week 37. So I know that I've probably described that very badly. Unfortunately, I also am up in the air about what's going to kind of happen here, but hopefully we do get more clarity over the upcoming game weeks, as I mentioned, when European football and FA Cup competitions come to a close. I will update you guys as we do get more news about this, because in my own planning strategy, Man City is going to be up at the front. So talking about chip strategy, let's get into the updated chip strategy for myself. In terms of the updated one for you guys, the combinations of kind of free hits, wildcards, bench boosts, and also triple captains. I will give you guys a more up-to-date chip strategy video later on, just as I digest this information that has been announced a couple of minutes ago. But in terms of my own strategy, as you guys know, I only have one free hit remaining, and currently I haven't really been swayed with this announcement to use it in game week 33. So currently game week 36 or game week 37 is where I'll be using the free hit, and I think it's going to be heavily dependent on when the fixtures are announced. But the nice thing about the free hit is that we can kind of just wait and see. Come game week 35, we can see the announcement of the fixtures. Maybe Man City have a double in 36, maybe 37. That might be the kind of contributing factor. But currently I'm willing to give myself that time, but I will be using it in 36 or 37. But this is basically up the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like if you did and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'll be releasing more content to do with the upcoming game week 32 in the next couple of days. But hopefully our Arsenal assets bang tonight. But I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL and I'm out. Cheers, bye.